From the boxing ring to your podcast station, here are the three guys that talk nothing but boxing. Ricky, Enrique, and Juan.
Episode 70 of Boxing Talk is on now. With me, as always, is Juancho,
What's up?
Enrique,
What's up, Rick?
and Cole in the background, which you guys had a special treat in the last episode. You guys got to hear Cole's voice. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's Cole. So for you guys that don't know who Cole is, that was him. We had some glitchiness going on with Enrique's feed,
Yeah.
but everything was fixed.
That was pretty. That was pretty cool of you, Cole, to throw that in there, man. I was like, damn, how are we gonna fix this? But Cole fixed it.
Dude,
Yeah, I
like
mean,
Cole's a man, dude. The way he did, if you guys haven't checked YouTube,
Yeah.
check it out, man. What is it, Undercope on YouTube?
No, just boxing talk or boxing talk podcast. We should come up if you type in boxing talk.
Yeah, okay, check
I mean,
it out on
there's
YouTube,
a lot
man.
of bunch of other channels, but
Yeah, the amount of work that Cole puts into this is a lot, man. This is why like I never got it, man. Shit, it's a lot of work, and check it out, check it out. He puts like when we're talking about like special the fights over the weekend, he puts a reel in there, a quick short of it. So and he puts other things in there that's really cool. So check it out if you have a chance. And while on that note, follow us on Boxing Talk podcast on Instagram and Boxing Talk Pod on Twitter. As always, Enrique's always so good at responding to all the fans, all the boxing fans on the Instagram feed. And on that note, huge shout out to Edito. I was finally able to rekindle my conversations with Edito. I guess I wasn't following his main account, so I wasn't able to talk to him. And now today we had a whole full blown conversation with Edito. So Edito, I see you, man. I'm glad we're back talking together. And with that, let's get into the fights that happened this weekend, which were explosive. Let's start off with Marojan Akhmadaliev versus Ronnie Rios. So Akhmadaliev wins via a 12-round TKO to remain the IBF and WBA Unified Super Bantamweight champion. He knocked down Rios once in the 12th prior to the TKO. He improves his records to 11-0 with 8 knockouts. Before we get your thoughts on this fight, guys, on his performance and who he should take on next, do you guys think he should continue to prove himself against former champions like Luis Neri and Brandon Figueroa, or should he go for undisputed and take on Stephen Fulton? What do you think, Deacon?
I think Akhmadaliev is ready, man. He's a unified champ. He needs to take on the other unified champ of the division. Of course, if he wants to stay busy, might as well stay busy with top contenders like Luis Neri and Brandon Figueroa, who now they're top contenders, but those guys have been champions in that division too. I mean, Neri was champion, which Figueroa took the strap from him, but then Figueroa's straps was taken from Stephen Fulton. So, I mean, Akhmadaliev looked really good. I think he dominated the fight. Unfortunately, Ronnie Rios couldn't get the job done. Akhmadaliev dominated, man, and I'm surprised he didn't knock him out sooner because he was landing some bombs on Rios. But Rios, he's only been stopped twice prior to this time, and both times that he got stopped on his feet. This was the first time he got dropped in his career. So yeah, that goes to show Akhmadaliev, I think, is ready, and I think Akhmadaliev versus Fulton, that's a good, interesting fight. And Fulton, it should be an easy fight to make. They're both PBC fighters. So why not go for undisputed? Like we always say here, man,
And
champs need to
go
face
back.
champs. So that's what needs
And
to
Rios,
happen.
man, he held on there, man, but he was getting a beating, dude. And
Yeah, dude.
it sucks, but Rios, like, he showed heart, man. He showed heart while he was in there, man, but he got beat up. Juancho, what do you think about this fight?
It's crazy because I didn't really get to watch it live, so I had to go back and watch it. But when I first saw some of the highlights, I saw that the Akhmadaliev was injured from his hand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So
He was
him,
fighting
him,
one handed, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
yeah. So it was like him not even using a portion of his one side of his arms. I think it was the right hand that he wasn't
Yeah.
able to use. It's like, damn, this guy still managed to knock him down, still injured. it's like you can see why he's a big deal right now. So,
Mm.
it's crazy to see that, and I like to see that. And just going back to the fight. I was like, I think it's fair enough to say that he deserved that last round TKO just because the way he fought throughout the whole fight, he deserved that. So he needed a KO in that one.
And the little
Yeah, it
guys,
was.
the lower weight division showed out this weekend, man. Those little guys, they can throw some bombs too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. They're exciting and explosive fights that just keep you entertained. And it reminds me back of when I used to watch boxing matches when I in the '90s with my parents, with my dad.
Yeah,
It,
yeah,
it brought me back to that. But we'll see what
yeah,
happens with Akhmadaliev and Ronnie Rios. I mean, I'm not counting Ronnie
yeah.
Rios out of this. So it was entertaining for sure. With that, we'll move over to Jesse Rodriguez versus Sirasket Sorcerungbisai. This fight was freaking crazy, man. So Rodriguez wins via eighth round TKO to remain the WBC super flyweight champion and improves his record to 16 victories, 0 losses, and 11 knockouts. He knocked down Rungvisai once in the seventh prior to ending the fight in the eighth. What do you guys think on his performance? Who should he take on next? Is he ready to take on a top contender like Chocolatito, or should he attempt to unify titles against the winner of Kazuto Ayoka versus Donny Nietes rematch, or take on the other champions, say Fernando Martinez or Juan Francisco Estrada? But before we get into that, guys, dude, this fight had a guy in crutches standing the whole time. That's how exciting
Yeah.
this fight was, man. I really enjoyed this fight. This fight was just entertaining from round one until it ended. Pancho, what do you think about this fight?
What can you say, man? Bam is a big deal. Even the champion right now, Shakur Stevenson himself, said it that he would love to fight Bam one day, but that Bam is the top next guy. This guy is gonna be big. I would say give him a couple of years. He's still up and coming. He's still not at his peak. He still has a lot of fights to come, and he has a lot of experience to gain within those fights that he still needs to go through. But I would say his fight looked pretty good. Like we said, he did win in the eighth round for a round TKO. Um, and for him to fight, he should fight next is I think he goes for like the Kazuto Oyoka versus Dani Nietes winner of them two. I don't see him still being able to defeat Juan Francisco Estrada just quite yet. I think he needs a little bit more of experience. And Chocolatito's just another dog too, man. I don't think he defeats him just yet. There's
Oh,
guys can
fuck
still
yeah.
fight and can still go all the 12 rounds. So I'd say go for the Kazuto Ayoka Dani Nietes, and sooner or later I hope to see him against the monster like Shakur Stevenson was saying. That would be a great fight too.
Yeah. And like Ike said, this was the passing of the torch, in his home state of Texas de Rodriguez. It is. It was exactly that. It was the passing of the torch. Compa, what did you think about this fight?
I think we saw a star born, man. A star in the making. It's crazy to say a star in the making because he's already a champion. Usually your champions are already superstars, but this guy, like Juan said, he's so young. He's only 22 years old. He's boxing's youngest champion in all the weight divisions. Um, when he beat Cuadras, it's like, okay, cool. Who is this guy? Cool. But he's still, like Juan said, has to prove himself. But him beating Srisakut, of course, he still has more to prove. But him beating Srisakut and having Cuadras on as notches on
Under
his
his
belt,
belt?
I mean, he I think he's a top guy now, man. I think he's a top guy. He's knocked out half of the four-headed monster that has dominated the super flyweight division for a long time, and those four have been Cuadras, Srisaka Sorangbisai, which he's taken two of the old guard, and then the other two are Chocolatito and Juan Francisco Estrada. Is he ready for him? Never know. Young guys versus these older guys. It's crazy because Chocolatito's not even a champion, and he's considered the number one guy in the division, and he's not even the
Mm.
champion. But yeah, should he? I mean, is it dangerous for him to take on a former champ like Chocolatito, or should he try to take on, like you said, the winner of the Ayoka Nietes rematch, uh, the other young Argentinian champion in Martinez, which we saw he pulled off the upset against Jerwin Ancajas, and then Juan Francisco Estrada. So you're starting to kind of see a change in the guard. These newer young guys are starting to take over the
Mm-hmm.
115 division. It's like bye bye Estrada, bye bye Chocolatito, even though they're still there until one of these young guys proves that they can take them out. And like I said, Bam Rodriguez has already taken out half of the four-headed monster, and we'll see, man. I'm excited for this young guy, and like Shakur said, give Bam Rodriguez another 2 years, and he could probably take on Naoya Inoue, and he would be ready to beat Inoue. Which, hey, I don't think Shakur's wrong. Bam is that special, guys. I think he's that good. Naoya Inoue needs to be tested. Unfortunately, there's not many guys at the 118 division because that's where Inoue is right now. Bam would need to move up in weight, but we'll see. He's still young. He's only 22. That's the scary part. He's still like a good 5 to 6 years
He's a
away
young
from his
buck.
prime. Yeah, he's a good
Yeah.
5, 6 years away from his prime, and he's already this good. So we'll see what
Yeah.
the future holds. Hopefully, we get to see more of this young man. And he seems like a humble man, and he respects the sport, and that's why things are going well for him. So as long as he stays disciplined and man, dude, this guy was throwing. I've never seen a little guy throw bombs like
Yeah,
that. Not even
dude. It was
Chocolatito.
bombs,
Chocolatito,
dude.
Chocolatito, like he'll pitter patter you to death. But this
Yeah.
kid was throwing bombs as if he was
Oh
a
my
middleweight, man.
gosh. Dude, he
So
beat the shit out of
he
Sarangvisai.
the way he looked, and maybe I'm overrating him, but he looked like a 115-pound version of Lomachenko with his angles and all of that. Like he looked really good. So
Yeah, he
um,
did. I agree.
granted, guys, Rungvisai, he was the power puncher. Everybody thought Rungvisai was gonna knock Bam Rodriguez. That Bam Rodriguez was too inexperienced, but here at Boxing Talk, we picked correctly, man. We said Bam was ready, and we'll see if he's ready for these other champs. So I think he is. We'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, so we all like the fight. It was a good, entertaining fight. We'll see what happens with these two boxers, but let's move over to boxing news, updates, and rumors, guys. As always, is if you guys have been a fan of ours, we always have the favorite fight and KO of the month, and for this month we have June. So I'm gonna name a list of the fights and KOs, and let's see what we choose on this one. So first we have Joe Cordina versus Kenichi Ogawa, which was a KO. Stephen Fulton versus Danny Roman. Devin Haney versus George Kambosos Jr. Naoya Inoue versus Nonito Donaire 2, which was resulted in a KO. Hiroto Kyoguchi versus Esteban Bermudez, which resulted in a KO. Jaime Munguia versus Jimmy Kelly, which was also a KO. Arthur Beterbiev versus Joe Smith Jr., KO. Motordon Akhmedeliev versus Ronnie Rios, KO as well. And Jesse Rodriguez versus Skrasket Sorengveksai, which was also a KO and just happened. Juan, let's start with you. Which one was your favorite fight and your favorite KO of the month?
My favorite fight would have to be Devin Haney versus George Kambosos Jr. just because of the magnitude of the fight and how important it was for Undisputed. So I think that would be my favorite fight. But I would say my favorite KO of the month, man, it's because I'm stuck between two of the matches. But I think because I liked how Arthur Beterbiev KO'd Joe Smith Jr., but I also
Mm-hmm.
liked how Inoue, um, and I'm gonna have to go with it. But my favorite KO was Inoue versus Nonito Donaire too.
Okay, nice. I like those picks. What about you, compa?
And we had 9 fights that we covered this month of June. 7 of those 9 fights were knockouts. So, hey, we have a multitude of fights to pick KOs from. Favorite fight, I'll have to agree with Juan. It was Haney versus Kambosos. The importance of that fight, the first ever uh, undisputed fight in the four belt era. Haney brought it back here to the States. So we have an undisputed lightweight here in America. Um, it was a boxing clinic, so that I mean, it wasn't a close fight, but as far as my favorite fight, Haney proved under all circumstances that fights can get made when you want them to, and if you really want them to happen, you'll get them to happen. And he did it the old school way. He was the challenger in this instance. Well, quote unquote challenger because he was a champion too, but the other guy had more of the belts. So he was the challenger and trying to get the other guy's straps, and he went into hostile territory and took it from him. So good job, Haney. So that's my favorite fight. As far as favorite KO, I'm gonna have to say which one? Cordina of knocking out Ogawa, only because
Mm.
everybody believed Ogawa was the bigger puncher. Ogawa was gonna knock out Cordina easily because Cordina was just a technical boxer, and Cordina with a nice straight, nothing too flashy, just a nice straight right punch to the chin, knocked him out cold, and you know he became and the new champion for that division.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say knockout Cordina.
Okay, I like those. For me, it would be also. I agree with you guys. Devin Haney versus George Kambosos Jr. because of all the build up. You guys touched on it both. And for the knockout, I'm gonna go Jesse Rodriguez and Rungvisai. Man, that was such a good freaking fight that I really enjoyed watching, and it was great. I love that fight. So that's gonna be my pick. And there you have it, guys. The favorite fight in KO for the month of June
It's crazy
2022.
how another month passed
Next,
already, Rick.
I know, man. We're in July already, no?
Yeah, a couple more days. We're in July.
No.
Four
Yeah.
in four.
Oh, that's why I'm wearing the hat.
Yeah,
I'm wearing it for Juan's favorite holiday. Yeah.
4th of July.
4th of July, man. It's my favorite holiday. One of my favorite holidays. So next we have Canelo versus Triple G. 3 has officially been announced to take place at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Guys, they've been building this up on social media. I'm sure you guys have seen it.
Yeah,
Today, Canelo and Triple G were at the Yankee Stadium,
yeah,
and they did a face off. I'm sure you guys saw that on Instagram. Well, I shared it with you guys,
yeah.
but they've been building it up. What do you guys think about this? You think it's gonna be another blockbuster or no?
I think it'll be good, man. I'm excited for it. I know some people are over it. But hey, both fights, both their previous fights have been very close.
Mhm.
Controversial decisions or not, they both have been good fights. Yeah, it's been officially announced where it's going to take place. We knew it was going to take place September 17th, but we didn't know a location yet. So figuring out that now it's at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, that's pretty cool. Tickets have gone on sale already. They kind of started their kickoff press conference tour this week. They had their first press conference in LA, then they had their second press conference in New York yesterday, and then today they did like a face off at Yankee Stadium, like Rick was saying. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah.
And now that we know where it's at, maybe we could potentially go. But I saw that the cheapest tickets are like $300. So I don't know about that.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to donate our blood and other bodily fluids, compa.
Yeah. We'll just throw Juan in the corner. Hopefully he'll sell.
Well, we'll see what happens with that.
You
Next
know,
up, we have top super
sell
Uh,
the Triple G Canelo posters, compa. That's what I meant.
oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay. Next up, we have top super welterweight contender Magomed Kurbanov is set to face former champion Patrick Teixeira on July 9th in Russia. This is the third time this fight has been rescheduled. Originally set for December 2021, was canceled due to the Kurbanov feeling fever-like symptoms, and then scheduled for March 2022, and later canceled again due to fights in Russia not being sanctioned. Juancho, what do you think about this?
Man, this fight reminds me of Cambosis versus Teofimo Lopez. It's like it's never gonna happen. It's been quite a while, like you guys mentioned. But if it does happen for July 9th, it's exciting. It's great. Um, but I don't know why they canceled it if there was no fights being sanctioned in Russia, but yet it's still going to be happening in Russia. Maybe why didn't it just happen since the first time? Uh, I mean, it is what it is, but obviously it's a good fight. Hopefully it does happen, like I mentioned, and then we're just excited to see this fight.
Yeah, that'd be good, man. I'm excited for that fight too. Talking about the old fleet of boxers that have been coming in waves, Keith Thurman states he will be returning to fight in October with an opponent still to be determined. Rumors are he will be facing WBA quote unquote regular champion Elimantis Stanonius. What do you think about this, Kike?
I mean, I just want to see Keith Thurman come back. He put on a good performance against Barrios, but yeah, he needs to be tested against one of the top guys to prove that he's a top guy for a reason. So I mean, Montes Stanionis coming off a great victory against Radza Butayev, taking the strap from Butayev. Uh, and Thurman has to show that he can still hang, especially with a young champion like Stanionis. Now, let's not get it wrong, guys. Stanionis is a champ, but he's not the real champ at 147. We all know the real WBA champ is Errol Spence Jr. Montes Stanionis is the champion below Errol Spence Jr. But if Thurman, there's also been rumors that Thurman might take on Ugas in October. So we'll see. Hopefully, this is true that he does come back in October, because then that means he's starting to stay active again. He's already fought earlier this
Yeah.
year, and now he'd be fighting again later this year. But these are all just rumors, guys. We're still a good 3-4 months away from October. We always know in the boxing world, rumors can tend to be just that, rumors. But we'll see. We'll definitely keep you guys updated as more time progresses, and see what happens.
Yeah. I agree with you, compa. Next up, we have one of our favorite fighter, Shakur Stevenson, is set to defend his titles against Robson Conceição on September 23rd in Newark, New Jersey. It's nothing official yet, but they are closing the deal. What do you think about this one, Juancho?
Like we always mention, Concentro is the real champ. Valdez got lucky with that robbery there. Um, so it's technically champ versus champ right now. But if it is, this is a dangerous fight for Shakur Stevenson if it is official. Obviously, when it becomes official and if the rumors do proceed its way, um, this defense will show if Shakur Stevenson is just getting lucky these past fights, or if he's really the big deal, man. Kutsitao, I think, would be his greatest test so far. So hopefully it does happen and it becomes official soon.
Mhm. I agree, Juancho. Let's go back to the small guys and the action-packed fights that like we had this past weekend. Sources state that Juan Francisco Estrada versus Joshua Frank was back on and has been pushed back to August 20th. This fight was initially rumored for July 16th, but then there was speculation that Juan Francisco Estrada was going to fight the trilogy match with Chocolatito, excuse me, with Chocolatito. What do you think about this one, Joe? I mean, excuse me, Opa.
Well, I don't know what to believe first and foremost, because um, yeah, we were supposed to have this fight happen on July 16th. Then they scratched. Then they scratched that because they said Gallo Estrada was going to go for the trilogy match with Chocolatito, which we were excited for that. But now rumors are saying nope, that fight's not going to happen after all. It is going to be Estrada versus Franco, which happens to be Bam Rodriguez's brother. Um, I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, they're putting a date of August 20th, but I haven't seen anything official yet. Of course, I'd rather see Gallo versus Chocolatito, but if not, I mean the next best thing is Gallo versus Franco. So either way, we'll see when this becomes official, when something officially comes uh, for Estrada, because Estrada, he's been inactive, man. He's got to get back in there too. So I think he's over a year now that he hasn't fought, so he needs to get back in there, man. Yeah,
I agree. I would like to see también Estrada y Chocolatito.
yeah, because the WBC is threatening to strip Estrada of his title if he doesn't fight soon. So he's got to get a fight in soon.
Shit. But we'll see what happens with that. And like always, guys, we'll keep you posted if you follow us on Boxing Talk on Instagram. Let's move over to women boxing. Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall set for the undisputed middleweight women's title, which would take place on September 10th at the O2 Arena in London. What do you guys think about this one? What do you think about this one, Manjo?
Clarissa Shield, always a great fighter, always a great fighter to watch. She always performs to her best, and that's why she's considered one of the greatest in the women's side. Obviously, there's not really much highlight on women,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but
Yeah.
hopefully, this one's another big one where she performs really well and she takes victorious over Savannah Marshall. And this is really one of the fights that a lot of people have been asking for. Um, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see it, and it's going to be happening over there in London. And people over there in London love their boxing no matter what.
Oh, absolutely.
So great atmosphere for sure there.
Juancho, who be disregard the weight class? Who's your favorite women boxer?
And it's hard. It's hard because there's a lot of great ones.
You gotta choose one,
You
bro.
got, you got your girl Estrada.
That's
Since
my favorite.
Estrada. So then you got Kika's favorite girl, Jake Paul, and then uh, just kidding.
Jake,
uh,
look at Kike.
uh, no, but in honesty, I think it would have to be Clarissa Shields or Serrano. I just like
Okay.
how those two are really just giving them their all as of late, and they're not afraid to compete and take L's, and they're just at it.
Go, but which one do you like? Do you agree with Juancho's pick for you?
Yeah, I'd say there's I have 1A and 1B. Jake Paul being 1B, but 1A, I would have Katie Taylor for sure. Katie Taylor
Yeah,
just
there it is, Kenny Taylor.
she's she's undefeated. She's a good fighter, and she's taken on the best women in her era. Um, she has
Yeah.
the best resume of any female boxer, I think. But going back to Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall, I mean, this is another mega fight for women's fighting boxing. We had Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor earlier a couple months back, and now we got Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. This is another fight um, that is huge. And if you guys remember, Savannah Marshall did defeat Clarissa Shields in the amateurs, so they do have some beef there. Um, to This is Clarissa Shields' biggest test to date. Like I said, not many women have been able to beat Clarissa Shields, but Savannah Marshall did defeat her in the amateurs. So there's definitely some hostility there. Um, I remember a couple months ago, Savannah Marshall had her fight out in London, and Clarissa Shields went out there to watch her fight. Went to her country, and they spoke that shit on the ring. So glad to see that this fight's happening. um, it's going to be a good fight. Savannah Marshall's going to bring it, and Savannah Marshall's already in Clarissa Shields' mind because Clarissa Shield has been defeated by this woman before, so it's going to be a good fight. I still got Clarissa Shields winning because now, I mean, they're pros now. The pro game is different than amateur. Amateur is more so for points. In the pro game, it's about knockouts, man. It's about, of course, it's about points, but it's you got the power factor in there where knockouts and power punches matter too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And talking about Enrique's favorite boxer, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury is officially set for August 6th on Showtime pay per view at 6 p.m. at Madison Square Garden in New York. What do you think about this, Juancho? I know you're all into this.
I mean, there's been a lot of shit talking lately in social media. There's been
I thought that Tommy Fury pulled out first.
no, I guess what had happened was that Tommy Fury was in risk of pulling out because supposedly Jake Paul heard from his
Mm.
team that Fury wanted his whole like his dad and everyone from his team to be able to go to the U.S., but his dad is banned from coming over to the U.S. since he's a criminal. Um,
Oh
he
yeah.
ripped some guy's eye out. Yeah, and so I guess as of late, what I wasn't too sure was what you just mentioned, the official date, August 6th, because Tommy Fury was promoting it for August 9th on his a poster that he put out.
Oh yeah.
But Kiki and I were talking about it behind scenes. We were just like, man, these guys are clowns. If they don't even know their exact date, it's like, how are you guys promoting it? And you guys are saying August 6th, but on the poster it's August 9th. So
Not only that, but
it
they
was just
originally
weird to
said
us.
August 13th. And then I don't know who's
Oh
telling the
yeah.
truth and who's not because Jake Paul came out with that Tommy Fury was pulling out. But then Tommy Fury was like, no, dude, don't lie. The only reason, that the only reason we were waiting to sign the contract was because you were taking your sweet ass time to sign on for the drug testing. Um, so that's
Mm.
Tommy Fury's perspective. He's saying that the only reason they were taking a while to sign is because Jake Paul was taking his time on signing on the drug testing portion of it. I don't know. Maybe Jake Paul is waiting for he took his steroids and he's waiting for it to get out of his system, and now he signed it. So now that the steroids are in already, so I don't know. We'll see. I mean, his hairline is way the
Who
heck back
knows?
here, so maybe he is. So no, I don't know, man. I
Because
mean,
that
it
is
wouldn't be the
that is
first
a
time.
side effect of steroids.
Yeah, Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that someone has said that Jake Paul has taken some type of performance enhancing drug. So, but we'll see. It's going to take place. Should be a good fight. 50-50. I hate to say 50-50 because everybody's like Jake Paul's a clown, but it is 50-50, guys. Both big dudes. Tommy Fury has a lot to prove himself. He's kind of a goofy fighter, but maybe some boxers sometimes they'll look bad on purpose to entice a fighter to fight him. You never know. There's been stories of that too. They look bad on purpose to entice somebody to fight him, and then they show their true colors. We'll see if Tommy Fury is doing the same, and then Jake Paul's over here to focus on the Tyson Fury bet instead of focusing on Tommy Fury. So and he's worried about making skits about Tommy Fury as well. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the fight goes. Low key, I go for Jake Paul, but I want Tommy Fury to win too. I don't know. I might watch this fight. I might watch it. We'll see.
We'll see what happens with that. But let's give you a fun fact, Boxing Talk. Mexico City sets the world record after 14,299 attend a mass boxing class. The previous record was held by Moscow, Russia, hosting a 3,250 participant event. The class was held by notable Mexican fighters such as Eric Morales, El Terrible, Andy Reese Jr., Oscar Valdez, Chiquita Gonzalez, Miguel Berchelt, Pipino Cuevas, and many more. This is pretty cool. That there's a new record that was set for boxing, man. This is something
Yeah.
saying that boxing is being relevant again. You know what I
That's
mean?
yeah,
Boxing is back up.
dude. Imagine a class of 14,000 people. That's a
Oh,
whole ass basketball arena of class, like just being taught, and they surpassed the record by four times that, like four and a half
jeez.
times that. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. To
Yeah,
get that many people to attend a class, that's crazy.
that is crazy, man. That's pretty fun. Thanks for including that
Yeah,
into our notes, Kiki.
yeah.
So next up, we have former NFL players Adrian Peterson and LaVon Bell will meet on the undercard of Social Gloves 2, an event promoted by YouTube star Austin McBroom. McBroom takes on fellow YouTuber Ian
And
Ianson Gibb
a
in the
Nissan.
main event in Eason.
Yeah,
So
Nissan.
I didn't know this was still going on, compa. This whole fucking boxing gloves, whatever.
Yeah, so the main event's going to be Austin McBroom, which we saw him fight Bryce Hall. He's going to be fighting a Nissan Gibb, who defeated Taylor Holder. They're going to face off at the Crypto.com arena on July 30th. And now added, what was interesting, and actually Juan shared it with me today. I saw it on ESPN Ringside News as well. Um, that they added this. I mean, for those that know who these guys are, that are NFL fans, you guys know who Adrian Peterson is. He was a popular running back in his day, and then you got Le'Veon Bell too. So you got two NFL fighters or NFL players that are going to be fighting each other in a heavyweight match. So 200 plus pounds. So should be a good, interesting
Damn.
fight. I mean, it's nothing like a Fury versus Joshua if that were to happen, but it's entertaining. I mean, to see celebrities duking it out. So we'll see. It should be fun.
I
Nothing
mean,
serious
it's
though.
Yeah.
more
It's
like
pure entertainment.
it's more like a charity event that's happening here because Social Gloves One didn't even pay their fighters, so
Yeah.
like to
Oh, that's what I
see
was
it
gonna
like
ask. Did they ever pay him? They never paid him, huh?
No, they paid him.
nah,
They paid him
you
off
know,
now.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they just paid
Oh,
him.
yeah,
That's the only reason why they were able to
jeez.
continue with this event because they weren't going to be able to have an event had they not paid the fighters.
Oh, okay, okay. Before we move over to our fight preview, guys, congratulations! We reached 7,000 downloads
It's crazy.
on Buzzsprout, our podcast platform, and that's only 7,000 that we know of. We don't know of how many people actually listen, that they don't download it. We don't know those numbers.
Yeah.
Those figures are not are unknown to us. But as far as downloading 7,000, that's a lot, guys. We started this podcast a little bit over a year ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy how we've, and it's a lot of hard work from, especially with Yuki. You've been on it, man, and I appreciate your hard work. Juancho también. And it's really exciting that we still keep doing this. It is like a little part-time job, guys, like I said in the past, but we make it happen because it's enjoyable. We get to talk boxing.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
It's crazy, man. I I never thought we would get to that many downloads. I was
Yeah,
happy if we would have gotten five. So, uh,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have happened without the multiple people that have reached out to us, giving us kudos. There's been those people
Hmm.
out there that tell us we're shit too. Like, that's okay too. I mean, everybody has a right
Yeah.
to their opinion. Uh, but hey, we're still here. We're doing it because we enjoy it. We enjoy the sport of boxing, and we want to share
Hmm.
that passion for boxing with you guys as well. So that's all thanks to all of our people that continue to follow us, and not only are we continuously getting people that listen to us, but it's growing even more. And now we're trying to grow our YouTube thanks to Cole. He's been doing an awesome job of
Big
of
thanks to
um,
Cole.
adding videos. So those of you that are more visual as opposed to just the audio portion, I mean, you can put a face to the voice, and then Cole adds cool little video clips of highlights and stuff of fights and stuff, or he adds little funny things in there as well. It's pretty cool. So we're trying to grow, guys.
No, it's super
At the end
cool.
of the day, we just do this for fun. We're not doing this for a paycheck or anything. We do this for fun.
Yeah, this is not a monetary compensation type of job that we're doing. This is just a hobby. But just for if you're a new listener, the way we started, me and Enrique started working together. What? How many years ago? About a year, 2 years, three
3.
years? No,
Yeah.
3 years. Jesus. Yeah, I've been knowing Enrique for 3 years, and we hit it. We started talking about boxing, and then Juancho, the young buck, joined the team at work, and then he joined us, and then we started talking about boxing, and that's how we started. We just during COVID we started. We thought about hitting it off, and that's when we actually took off with this podcast.
Mm.
So it's been a lot of work, and it's been great, and I hope you guys continue to join us and just follow us. And if you want to know boxing, we're the podcast for you. So let's move over to fight preview, guys. Next, first we have Mighty's Braidis versus Jai Opetaya, IBF World Cruiserweight, which is 200 pounds, title fight. It's going to be taking place at the Gold Coast Convention Center, sorry, Broad Beach, Queensland, Australia, July 2nd, 2022, via the Fit app at 2 a.m. Shout out to James Morgan from Australia, one of our listeners. So we have Myers Braidis, which is the IBF World Cruiserweight Champion. His record is 28 victories, 1 loss, and 20 KOs. His style is orthodox. He's 6'1" in height, and he is 37 years of age. He's from Riga, Latvia, and he last fought Arthur Mann, which he won by a third round TKO on October 2021, which is the 9-month layoff. His notable opponents are Marco Huck, which he won by unanimous decision back in April 2017, Alexander Usyk, which he lost by majority decision back in January 2018, and we also have Krzysztof Glowacki, which he won by third round TKO back in June 2019, and Uniel Dorticos, which he won by majority decision September 2020. His opponent is Jay Opetaya, which he is ranked number 4 by the IBF. He has 21 victories, 0 losses with 17 KOs. His style is southpaw. He's 6'3" in height. He is 26 years of age. He's from Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. He last fought Daniel Russell, which he won by third round TKO back in December of 2021. And he comes to us from a 7-month layoff. His notable opponents is with now Marius Bredes, who is the current IBF World Cruiserweight Champion. Juancho, let's start off with you. Who do you have for this fight?
Oh man, I think this is a 50-50 fight amongst the two. Um, obviously a young buck trying to reach greatness against a champion already. An older champion, 37 years old. But I'm gonna have to go with Jaya Opataya. I think he's gonna become and the new IBF World Cruiserweight Champion.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Kike?
Yeah, like Juan said, this is a good 50-50 fight. A lot of people consider Briedis as the number one cruiserweight of the world. Um, but I mean, they're fighting in Opataya backyard. Opataya, a younger man entering his prime. Southpaw. Usually, southpaws are very technical. This is a big dude too, 6'3". He seems more hungry Briedis too focused on trying to get the Jake Paul fight, which I don't know why. He just wants a paycheck.
Getting
He even got
tatted.
a tattoo of Jake Paul. So I think he's even dressed like Mario out there or Luigi. So this dude's like focused on the wrong things, I think. Uh, but hey, Opataya is no joke, man. Um, we talked with our boy James Gorman out there in Australia. He believes the same, and I'm gonna have to go with Juan and our boy Gorman out there. That even though he's a huge underdog in his own home country, Opataya really and I've been saying it since this fight first got announced that Briedis is gonna have his hands full against Opataya. Let's hope that we're correct, Juan. I'm going Opataya as well.
Yeah, I'm going to Pattaya just because the mere factor that he's he's not he's hungry, and he wants to take that that strap. So I'm going
And we've
straight
seen
up
we've
Pattaya
seen
as
the
well.
trend we've
We'll
seen
see
the
what
trend
happens.
lately, compa. We've seen the trends lately. Like these
Hmm.
guys, they're not very experienced, but they get their opportunity and they prove it. Look at Bam Rodriguez when he faced Cuadras. A
Yeah,
lot of people felt,
exactly.
there's a last minute replacement. Cuadras is experienced. Cuadras is going to beat Bam. Nope, Bam took it. Um, Cordina against Ogawa. Ogawa was his first true test. He beat him. Opataya against Briedis. Yeah,
Yeah,
Briedis has been in there with Usyk, who's a unified heavyweight champion. He's been in there with Dorticos, who's a top contender. He's been in there with Marco Huck and Glowacki, who have been former champs. But yeah, he's getting older. He's 37, and he's facing a young, hungry lion. So this is young lion versus old lion. Can the old lion show the young buck
hmm,
how it's done, or will this be a passing of the torch top type fight? I just think Briedis is good. But he's just too focused on other things. Like, come on, dude, you're focused on trying to fight Jake Paul. Like, focus on fighting real fighters like Opataya. So yeah, we'll see.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Well, we'll see what happens with that fight this weekend. Next up, we have Joe Joyce versus Christian Hammer. This is WBC Silver and WBO International Heavyweight, which is 200 plus pounds title fight. This is going to take place at the Wembley Arena in Wembley, London, United Kingdom, July 2nd, 2022. This is not going to be televised, guys, and it's going to take place at 11 a.m. First up, we have Joe Juggernaut Joyce, ranked number one WBO International Champion, and ranked number two WBC Silver Champion, and ranked W6 IBF. He comes to us with 13 victories, 0 losses, and 12 KOs. His style is orthodox. He is 6'6" in height. He is 36 years of age, from Putney, London, United Kingdom. He last fought Carlos Takam, which he won by a 6-round TKO back in July of 2021, which puts him on a 12-month layoff. Notable opponents is Bermain Stavern, which he won by a 6-round TKO back in February 2019. His opponent is Christian Hammer, not ranked. He has 27 victories, 9 losses, and 17 KOs. His style is orthodox. His height is 6'3". His age is 34. He is from Hamburg, Germany, born in Galati, Romania. He last fought Drazen Janin, which he won by first round TKO back in May of 2022, which puts him at a 2-month layoff. His notable opponents, Tyson Fury, which he lost by uh,
Referee
by
technical
an
decision.
eighth round, yeah, referee technical decision back in February 2015. Copa, who do you got on this fight?
This is easy, man. Unless Joe Joyce breaks an ankle on the ring, even if they tie Joe Joyce's, they tie one hand behind him. Joe Joyce has got this fight. We said it before, man. Christian Hammer, he's a decent fighter, as we saw. He beats the no namers like this Jan Janin guy. I'm sure you guys never heard of him, but he beats guys like that. But when he Hammer's one of those appointments. Uh, I guess you can say he's an appointment. He's one of those opponents that get thrown in there with the top guys to lose. Yeah, he'll give you a little bit of a challenge. Yeah,
Like a tune-up
he's a
fight.
tune-up fight guy. Um, so yeah, this is clearly
Yeah.
Joe Joyce. Um, it's gonna take a miracle for Hammer to win. But hey, like Ricky says, this is boxing. Anything can happen. You never know. So, but for sure, Joyce, man. But
We'll
for
see what
sure,
happens.
Joyce.
Juancho, what do you think?
Same here. Same here. I think I'm gonna go for the Juggernaut as well. It's more than noticeable why they picked the other guy that literally has 9 losses, and I think it's really just tomato can coming in to fight
Hmm.
uh, a guy that's been out for a year and they need the ring rust out of his system and just to get back in there.
Yeah, I agree too. Joe Joyce, it's got to be him. This is a tune-up fight for Joe Joyce just to keep him busy. So I hope Joe Joyce takes it. We'll see what happens.
We'll
Like
we'll
Copa
see
said,
we'll
it's
see if he's
boxing. You
made
never
any
know.
improvements and looks faster in there. If not, let's see if he looks just as slow as last time. Gee.
I just hope he doesn't bring the
Oh
same outfit
God.
as last time.
So Cole, if you ever have a chance, man, look at Joe Juggernaut Joyce. He brought out the Juggernaut helmet from X-Men, so it was funny. Cole's in the background laughing.
Yeah, it was.
Uh,
And finally, boxing talk. We have our leaderboard. Kike again is in the lead, 45 guesses correctly, 13 incorrect. Juan, we have 44 correctly, 14 incorrect. And myself, I have 38 correct and 20 incorrect. And we also have Edito, one of our like most loyal listeners. He is 7 correctly picks and 2 incorrect as of June 4th, 2022. Edito, you're out. You're there with us, man. Hopefully next year we get to participate. In the beginning of the year. So there you have it, leaderboards, man. Did you guys want to add anything else?
no, that's it for the this week. We just got two exciting fights. I'm excited to see. I'm more so excited for the Briedis versus Opataya fight because that one on paper is 50-50. Um, as of right now, guys, I put that it's on the fight app, but because that's what a lot of articles are saying. But I looked at the fight app; it's not even in there yet. So I don't know if they're gonna add that in later. But because the fight's gonna be in Australia, it's gonna take place at 2 in the morning in Pacific time here in California. So I'll probably be up for that one to watch it. And then the other one, unfortunately, will not be televised because Joe Joyce decided to join Sky
Yeah.
Sports, and Sky Sports is strictly in the UK.
Oh,
They're not working anymore with America to try to show fights out here. So we're gonna have to wait on a news article or some type of YouTube highlight to get the results on that one. But two good fights. Joe Joyce, staying busy. He was supposed to get the Joseph Parker fight, but Parker decided to be a duck. Didn't want no part of Joe Joyce. And then you got, of course, Briedis defending his IBF against one of his mandatories in Opataya. So should be a interesting weekend of fights. And then we're gonna come back next episode with a packed fights in July. We have a lot of fights in July, guys. A lot of big names, a lot of big fights going to happen in July. So exciting future.
Copa. If you see my YouTube like turning around, it's because my
No.
dog's with us, and she literally just turned on my PlayStation and took
Oh,
out my
what?
disc.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's
funny.
weird. It's crazy how she did the. What the hell? Well, yeah, guys. Juancho, anything else?
No, just thank you for listening to us again each week, and we do appreciate you guys, like we always mention. And that's it for me.
All right, guys, and for all of you guys listening, if you guys want to catch a fade on Call of Duty, let us know, man. And me and Juancho and Kike will take you on.
Cold games too.
As for
I
our
think
neighbor tag,
I think more so myself would have to carry the team with my back hurting all the time. But all right, yeah, we'll take you on.
hey, we also got into the golf game.
Yeah, I get.
But yeah, guys, thank you, Boxing Talk, for listening to us again, and hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one. See
Peace
ya.
out,
Peace.
guys.